Hey guys, what's going on? I'm going to be making a video on how you should be upgrading your gear. I know that a lot of you have probably already understood this from the very beginning of the game, or at least a few months in, but this was a very confusing topic for me. When I first started playing, I had to watch countless videos in order to find the right details, and so I would like to go over the basics for it, and how you should go about upgrading your gear at the very beginning of the game. Now, if you're a veteran, you probably already know this, but maybe you'll learn something new. I would learn something new, and I watched Shogun's video just the other day on upgrading costumes. So, yeah, always something to learn in this game because there's always little tips and tricks that you can learn in order to not get scammed out of wasting materials. So, what I'm going to be doing first is telling you what gear you should be upgrading in the very beginning. So, in my opinion, what you should do is be upgrading just rare or she would say the one C and UC gear. Don't ever focus. I don't have any actually, but don't ever focus on SR gear. If you have a lot of materials, you can go ahead and upgrade SSR gear. But what I recommend is only doing it on the left side. I'll show you why. I'll show you the difference, the comparison. I'm gonna need one defense for HP piece, and then do I only have? I think I think I messed up. I forgot. I wanted to get rare gear for this side, but I guess I grabbed all HP gear instead of any defense gear, which is very unfortunate, but it'll still be the same thing because I have one piece that I can show you the difference of. So, look at the substats. The attack is 528, but out of the max, it is 520. It is plus 5, that's why it's 528. So it's 408. 520 is the max, and the max is 140. On this, but on SSR it is 280. So the reason you want to do the right side, sorry, I didn't even tell you what you should be doing is just plus 5 in the left side. You don't have to awaken it as much because it's not as important as awakening the right side, which will boost your stats more, because apparently the right side boosts those substats even more because the right side has lower base stats. So it amplifies the right side even more for some reason. I don't know why, but that's how they made the game. So basically, as long as you just plus 5 the left side and don't worry about your rolls as much, then you'll still get a pretty big amount of CC. But what you want to do is reroll the bottom substats on these as much as possible, but use rare, UC, and C gear because you can use gold on that. You don't have to use anvils or gems because right here, I can't show you because I have that. My bad. Yeah, because right here you can just use gold, which is really nice. You can use anvils, but if you ever use anvils on this, you're just a big dum-dum. Big dum-dum. I don't have any SSR upgraded gear. I have an attack one. Okay, I have an attack one. But yeah, see, anvils. Anvils and diamonds. That's a lot of resources in order to invest in, especially early on. And if you don't know what units you want to use, it's not that efficient because then you just start getting rid of that gear because it's not good and the base stats aren't that good. But if you're doing rare gear, it's like, whatever. I just lose out on gold and some level 3 awakening stones for the rare gear. So what I would recommend, plus 5 the left side, like get 5-star with SSR gear, and then get max substats on the right side. That is probably the best because until you get into max PvP gear, you're not going to need the left side re-rolled really. Like, yes, it will bring you up a few thousand CC, but it's not going to define or break your game as you're climbing the ladder or playing the campaign. Campaign, you don't need that much CC, to be honest. Like, I think the highest CC is like 170,000 in the campaign right now. Even on JP, it's not even that high, to be honest. So, yeah, there's that. And then the best sub-stats. So, what you want, let's go to a character with max gear. Let's go right. No, not Gerhid. You are absolutely useless. Am I going the wrong way? No, I'm not. Here we go. My bad, guys. The best sub-stats for a unit. Attack. Top 2, you always want attack. I mean, yes, you could go crit damage. Like, with Kyo, that's a pretty good option. But it doesn't give you any bonus CC. So what you want is to upgrade and reroll as best you can with CC, or with attack, so you can get that bonus CC. With this, the middle two pieces, the necklace and the earrings, you want defense, or in Gother's case, you want resistance. Resistance is really good because defense gives you the least amount of substats gains in terms of CC. And there's a lot of cards that just go right through defense, so it's like whatever, it doesn't really help that much. That's why I didn't even re-roll this, because I didn't care. I don't think it gives you that much CC. And I have these two pieces, defense, or rare, so it's super easy to upgrade. I'm not going to UR these, because there's no point. Q already does an insane amount of damage. So it goes up a little bit, especially the HP one, so I might upgrade this one eventually, but right now, not really worth it. And I'm pretty high in ladder. I don't play geared that much, unfortunately, because I don't have enough teams to do it, but yeah. And then the bottom two pieces, obviously, you would want HP. HP is the only viable substat for the bottom two pieces of gear. So, let's see, what else can you get? I'm not going to click it, but there's recovery rate, lifesteal, regeneration rate. These three are completely useless. Like, yes, lifesteal, you can lifesteal more HP back when you attack, but if you really want lifesteal, just use lifesteal food. It's not good because HP gives you the most amount of CC. It gives you double the amount, I believe, while attack and defense are the same. So let's just say this basically gives you 2 per HP, and then this gives you 1, and this gives you 1 per like point, like 618, 1630. I don't think that's actually how it works, but that's just a statement or an example. And then on certain characters like Omega Rugal, Demon Meliodas, you want pierce rate. So I would say attack defense. You could make a case for HP defense or HP crit, just because that way they last and survive longer, but I think you just want to one-tap units. You just want to absolutely annihilate one-turn some units. So that's what I would say, but in some units, like Lidociel, you want HP defense, because that way you get as much CC as possible, even though he has pretty low CC for me, because I haven't maxed out his gear, I don't have all his cosmetics, whatnot. But, yeah. And a reason you guys don't want SR gear, like, ever, is because you have to re-roll it with anvils. I've always scrapped it after, like, the first month or two, I think. For the first month or two, I just always scrap it. I don't want it. I don't want it because it costs anvils and diamonds to re-roll the basic substats, which is horrible because it doesn't give you as much of a boost as an SSR piece. And so, yeah, the only thing it's good for is because you get it early, or it's easier to obtain than SSR, but that's why SSR is so much better. It's harder to obtain. And then as for what like pieces you should upgrade and really focus on, I will tell you. Let me find my Eskin real quick, because I did this specifically for him because he's the first person I UR'd completely. What I did, I maximized the attack and the HP rolls, so the bottom two and the top two, and these were never even re-rolled until about a few months ago, and I was like, oh, when the red Eskin dropped, I believe, is when I started to actually give a damn about his defense, because I wanted him to have more CSC. I wanted him to absolutely destroy fools because he's my favorite unit in the game. But yeah, I maximized the top and bottom pieces so that because they give you the most amount of CC, and defense does like nothing, like 800 or 260 defense, 818 defense. It's just not that good, to be honest. It's not a very good substat. It's good in the long term, but at the very beginning, don't waste anvils. +5 it, 5-star it, bing, boom, boom, you're done. You're out of there. But I would recommend doing the HP one first if you're going to be going into geared PvP. If you're just going to be going through the campaign, doing PvE stuff, I would do attack so you can absolutely slaughter your units, or your opponents, not your own units, what? So that goes the same for URing gear pieces. So what I would do, because this one boosts your substats more, I would do the top left and the bottom left ones first, because it gives you more base stats, more base HP. So, and also I would not UR your gear until you have decent rolls at least. Like, I think 10% or more is when you can start thinking about URing your gear. Anything below that, I don't think it's worth it. And then this is another little thing I have come across on, like, as watching the JP players. They have started implementing HP crit damage. So, that is why I am making this gear set. HP crit damage is absolutely insane. Because I'm going to be maxing these ones out for the one Escanor. So he lives longer. He's at like 190k HP on JP. And then you have the extra bonus of crit damage. So you can actually, if you do crit, which he has a pretty high crit chance, he absolutely destroys. So that's what you would want to do. I know this is probably a lot of information, and I'm honestly kind of getting lost on the way through it. But yeah, it's like 600 more CC with crit damage. And so the reason you would probably prefer defense. Where did my defense piece go? Oh, I remember. I only have 2, and I'm honestly probably just going to make another piece, so I never have to do this again, because I have to keep removing it, because I messed up at the very beginning when I first made my Escanor. I put it on the middle 2, and I should have just made it on the side 2, like now, but I messed up. So another thing, placement of your gear sets, especially if there's more than one unit in the game. So what you want to do is get a set system like this, all like this, get all your gear pieces on all your units the exact same, like this. You can interchange them. Or you can do it like my attack defense set, where it's on the top, my attack rolls, and then right here are my defense rolls. Or you could even go HP, 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 and then defense, defense on top, which, I mean, I don't see why. I don't think it matters at all, I'm pretty sure. I genuinely don't think so, because, let's see, base stat is 520. I believe that was the same on the attack. 520, yeah, so it literally does not matter as long. The only reason for this is just so it's easier, because it's very annoying to go to another gear set, grab this, and then I would have to remove the other pieces, those small substat pieces, like my defense pieces, in order to get the correct gear I want. Yeah, 54,688 CC, so about an extra 1,000 CC, I believe, with this. So yeah. Yeah, this is right. So, yeah. Placement is very important in making it super easy to swap out gear pieces. Now, is there anything else I wanted to go across? Because this is kind of a confusing video, considering gear is super... It's probably the most complicated thing in the game, because there's so many things you have to, like, keep in mind. Like Levi, I have attack crit damage because he thrives off crit damage. You could also give a pretty high thing for him to just only have crit damage. Like, I think this was his original piece, where I have him all crit damage, because look at it, what his passive does. Attacking the enemy with the lowest percentage HP results in a critical strike, so it always crits. And so if you get the 60% extra damage of crit, it will dramatically increase your damage. But over time, you just realize that it's not worth it, because the CC is so much different. So that's why people are going to HP crit damage. You get an extra few thousand CC besides attack crit damage or attack defense, and your unit will live longer. And he does almost about the same amount of damage as attack defense. Now, not always, because if you don't crit, well, then you don't do as much damage. Obviously, you do significantly less damage. And then there's the case for upgrading gear in terms of Gowther. So with Gowther, what you could do in order to be super, super, super annoying, triple defense. Triple defense, if you use a small attack like, I don't know, Gowther's AoE takeaway, you have a chance, and since he's a red unit, it really helps, to patience. You can literally just start patiencing units. So if you go resistance rolls, attack, so on the top it would be attack, middle would be resistance, and then bottom would be HP. That is a deadly combo and it is super annoying to face. I faced it a few times in some of my off-screen battles. I've never faced it on-screen though, because it's super rare, and your CC drops dramatically. And then with not Lilia. I'm looking for the green girl. Green girl. I don't know where she is. I never use her. Valenti. Triple defense on her is super toxic as well. Probably not in this meta, but back in the days, triple defense and resistance. Holy, yeah, I have some decent resistant rolls on her, but it never went to fruition. It did not turn out how I wanted to, so I just kind of scrapped her gear. I was like, whatever, I'm just going to steal some of your good parts. So, yeah. Also, for the UR, never ultra rare awaken or whatever, anything besides SSR gear, because all it does is it upgrades it from what it is. So do I have? So if I were to super awaken this, or not super awaken, UR gear this piece at Merlin's, it would only become an SR piece of gear, which is not as good as upgrading this to a UR gear piece. And you don't want to obviously use an SR to an SSR, because SR is complete trash and a waste of resources. Oh, I hate my stupid cells for using so many resources back in the day, but I didn't know what I was doing. And so I think I have covered everything in terms of the gear. All I want to do is just reinstate the very beginning thing that I said. Just so that you guys, just so this simplifies it a little. +5, 5-star to the left side, SSR gear. +5, 5-star, and reroll all of the stats with gold as rare or lower gear. I prefer rare because it obviously gives you the most substats and regular stats besides a higher piece, but you can just use gold to reroll the bottom pieces or the bottom substats, which gives you the insane CC boost on the right side, but not so much on the left side because the substats are higher, so they lower the amount of CC you would get from the substats on the left side. So, yeah. So, if you guys want to be efficient, +5, 5-star left side, don't reroll. +5, 5-star reroll substats with gold. That's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys enjoy all my videos. Hope you guys comment down below. Let me know some video or ideas that you would like to see. I could probably tell you about costume upgrades, that sort of thing. Like what costumes you should buy, what costumes you shouldn't buy. Not for every single character, that would take literally hours. But in terms of, this is the wrong unit to use. But in terms of, yeah, you know, let's give King as an example because he is a fairly new unit. Like, I guess he only has 5 pieces, so that wouldn't even matter. Not the OCL. I need to find someone with a lot of pieces. Like Zeldris. Okay, here's Zeldris. So, he has a bunch of UR pieces. And so what I would do is I would obviously get, so it's out of these two, definitely the SSR, or the UR1, because it has more substats, the defense, and the crit defense is higher and the crit resistance is higher. If this one had like straight resistance or something, like, yeah, this one has 4% resistance, that's really good. I would probably go with this one if it had a better substat, but it doesn't. So therefore I would go with the UR1 because it has a better base stat. And only max costume enhance the UR ones, because this one only takes 30. But if you were to max awaken one of these, it costs 60. Absolute garbage. I don't see why it does that. And that's only to UR. And then you have to waste another 30 on top of that to get it to, or at least I think that's how it works. I actually have an SSR. I have not awakened an SSR one, but I believe you have to use more in order to get it to the original 210 defense one. So it's not really worth it. And for this, for the attack, I would do, alright, so it's crit chance, crit damage. Crit damage, crit chance, crit damage. It's the exact same. So, yeah, I mean, I guess this one is a bit worse, but it's not worth the justification of 20 extra gems. So yeah, because this is the base sword, so I would definitely leave this. I would just get these ones because it has more substats and it has more attack, because it has the same as the base one. So why would I get that one when these ones are way better? Because I believe I bought this crit chance, crit damage, the exact same as this. And then pierce rate, actually this one isn't that good, but it is attack, so it's slightly better in my opinion. You could justify getting this one instead of the sharp sword of scars, but I just think it looked cooler, so that's why I got it. And then crit chance, obviously you want Zeldris max crit chance. That's the best thing for him, especially because the blue one, I believe this, yeah, this is the blue one. And then with these, you want, also I'm very sorry for ranting, but I'll go into a more detailed depth video on what you should buy. But this is just a short little summary. If you guys don't want to watch the next video that I'll be probably making on the costume enhancements, very sorry, so you can just skip ahead if you don't want to watch, or just end the video, I guess, because this is going to be the end. What you want for this is a high substat, 930, which isn't high, but for Zeldris, I guess it's all we have for some reason, so we only have 4. And then lifesteal. This is actually kind of insane. I didn't know he had a 4% lifesteal. What? He has this much lifesteal? I love how his base hairpiece is absolute trash and everything is so much better. But yeah, lifesteal is the #1 substat you want on here. And for like almost any unit pretty much. So yeah, I would go for anything with lifesteal. So anyways guys, that's going to do it for this video. Hope you guys learned something. And if you guys didn't understand something, let me know. I'll try to sort it out in the comments. You can message me on Twitter. I don't think I even have my Twitter plug, but I can definitely put in the details. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, learned something new, and peace out.